Hi everyone, it's Miracle and welcome back to Mind of Miracle. I'm so happy you guys decided to join me today. Guess what, guys? As you can see, half my face is done. I got some stuff on here. What ended up happening is when I looked at the footage, your girl's camera was mad blurry. So I decided to erase a lot of the work that I've already done. I actually introduced that I am featuring the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Blue-Blooded Mini Velour lipsticks and such. These are the colors that are missing out of the palette. These are the ones that I'm using. So in this case, I'm using Drug Lord, Jawbreaker, Blue Velvet, Diamond, and Medusa. This whole segment is something a little bit different than what I usually do. Usually I like explain away what I'm doing with my face. In this case, I'm like, you guys just watch, okay? So what I'm doing at this point now is, I guess it's called Topical Topics, okay? So I'm using topical makeups and then applying them to my face while I talk about some topics that are bothering me or that I'm growing from currently. So in this case, the conversation that I was talking about before was online friendships. The whole part of how I met these girls, it was on this app called Line. In this app, I ended up becoming really close with these two girls, and I also had met my best friend X. I've been best friends with X for maybe about a year and a half before I met A and J. The way that Line is like divided up, it's a whole bunch of different internet personalities and they're there for different reasons. I'm part of the OG crowd that like was there before the first 500,000 downloads or whatever. And then there's some people who were there for gaming specifically. And then there was a totally different group that was there for Smule or the Sing app. Smule is very popular if you guys didn't know. If you do have Smule, you're a different breed of people. I'm just kidding. So that's where my two friends came from, A and J. They came from Smule. They were very talented singers, the both of them, and they stuck to each other. They were a duo. And I became the third part of the duo, so we become a triad, or if you would. I met them, I vibed really, really well with them, and I was just like, y'all my new best friends. And they were like, we bet. It just so happened, around the time that I met them, my friend Jay took a liking to my friend X, and they started a whole relationship, and the relationship was good for like a year and a half. They kept saying that they were gonna meet each other, and then X kept giving her the runaround, but he kept relaying it to like work-related reasons, and then she couldn't meet him due to her own circumstantial reasons or whatever. In this whole process, I actually got to meet friend Jay in real life, and then we really kicked it off in person too, so I'm like, okay, this is a real friendship. Line is like a cesspool of good relationships, bad relationships, and like trolls. Like people really and truly like to troll on that app, and sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's kind of annoying, sometimes you'll get your heart, like I've cried a couple times on that app, and I've made people cry on that app. It just be like that sometimes. There were some girls that some of them I liked and I didn't like. In the process of me going through a very traumatic experience, I ended up confiding in my friend Jay, and then Jay, I thought, kept it to herself, and then my man's, he also confided in his friend, and then I didn't trust his friend, so I thought it was from his side. But anyway, I'll let you guys determine at the end what possibly happened, and you guys let me know. But for right now, that's the information that I'm sharing. So I go through my traumatic experience. It ends up driving me off that app, and mind you, I've been on that app for like a whole 7 years. Okay, I've never had a problem so much that I had to like felt the need to like quit the app. Okay, but because of all these like external circumstances and stuff, I just felt like it wasn't necessary to be in my life anymore, so I'm gonna get rid of this app and move on with my life. And then all the people that I really and truly enjoy, they have a way to get in touch with me if they really want to. And then all these like weird like series of events started happening. It's like, I don't believe in karma, but if this was something to help me believe in karma, I would believe in it. After that situation ended up happening where my business ended up like becoming a very interesting topic of conversation, I lost touch with my friends a little bit, and I just attributed it to the fact that, you know, they're busy with their lives, you know, doing school, work, whatever the case may be. We lose touch a little bit. But then my man's hits me up like randomly, and I'm like hearing all these like weird stories. There's this kid, let's call him Blown. Blown got ousted as being a catfish, like lying about his age, not like who he was, but just how old he was. So around that time, that same time, my man was like, somebody in your life, yo, be careful, because there's a close male figure in your life he's lying about, you know, who he is. That, like, you can't tell somebody that and think they're gonna be okay with that. So like, that irks me to no end. I'm like, what are you even talking about? And then you don't even have the decency to tell me who it is. Like, that really bothered me. Like why are you giving me this cryptic information and then you're not even telling me, like, for the sake of protecting somebody else? And I'm like, yo, I'm your girl. Like, you need to tell me what's going on, because you're telling me that somebody in my circle is not to be trusted, and then you're gonna allow me to continue on a relationship with this person and not even tell me. So he ended up telling me who it is. I did not, for the life of me, want to believe him. There's no way that my best friend of 2.5 years has been lying to me. He's been lying to me about something stupid like his age. Like, mind you, I always thought that I was older than the kid, and the one time I confronted him about it, he was just like, no, I'm older than you. And I'm like, okay, I just accepted that. Because I've shared other things with him, and he shared like really hard, traumatic life experiences with me. And so I never thought that, you know, we would lie to each other or whatever. So like, it destroyed me. Something so minuscule, like, because I still would have felt the same way about him, because he's still good people regardless of his age or whatever. But like, it's just, if you put my friend in a situation where, like, she literally looks like she's talking to kids, like, she could have gotten in big trouble because he lied. And then his whole excuse later on was like, the legal age of consent in my state is XYZ. And I'm like, bruh, it doesn't matter. Like, she's 20s, like mid-20s, like, what are you doing? She's talking to a minor. So find out that he's catfishing. I flip out. I don't know. I was like Sherlock Holmes or whatever. I'll finding out mysteries. This kid, mind you, he's a minor, and he like said he was like in military related things. So I'm thinking, okay, military secrets, can't find no details. So I couldn't find anything about him because I had his address. But yes, you best believe I found about his mother, found about his sister, some information about his sister's medical history. I found it, okay? I don't know how, because I tried to retrace my steps, could not find that information, but I had it all down, written down, told him about his family. And my man's put me in a very, very hard position, because he was like, one of my friends told me this information in confidence, and then if it gets back and it's your fault, that ends my trust between me and you. Do you understand how hard that was? Is because I have information that my friend is lying to me. On top of that, I have information about my other best friends dating this man who's lying to me. He's also lying to her, and they've been in a relationship for like 1.5 years. And I have this information that could make or break their relationship. And then you don't want me to say anything. Like, it was really hard. So I made the decision to protect my own relationship. Like, weird stuff kept happening with my man's friends. Let's call her Jem. Jem kept running her mouth. I don't know how she knew this, but my relationship with best friend Jay was really strained, and so was my relationship with A. So those two girls that I told you guys about before, our relationship was kind of strange because of my situation that happened earlier on. She kept like saying random stuff, like asking about me out the blue, telling me that Jay is bringing me up in conversation, telling me that Jay might be starting some issues with my mans and me because like some like disrespectful chick kept hitting on him online and stuff, even though that this girl knew that he was in a whole relationship. So my man was confiding in me about this information, and I was just like, I was getting real fed up about it, because I'm just like, why doesn't this girl just keep my man out of her mouth? You can say whatever you want, and I've been very consistent, because anytime that I heard that something was being said, I left it alone. I wasn't saying nothing until my man got involved. I'm very protective of the people that I love, extremely protective. So whenever somebody comes out their face and starts talking about them, it like irks me a lot. So I was not tolerating that. So that's when I was just like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna approach X, because I was talking to X here and there. He was talking to me to check up on me as much as he could. So I felt more comfortable in reaching out to him about the situation, and I was gonna give him the opportunity to tell me, because the thing is about X is he doesn't know how to keep his mouth shut sometimes. And I know that about my friend. So it's easier to get information out of him, like a straight answer out of him, than it is with Jay, because when I was asking Jay about information, she was kind of giving me like these weird, sketchy answers. Like, she wasn't making sense. If I didn't explain this makeup look, basically the whole point of this look is to express my feelings about the story time. So each story time, I'm gonna do a makeup look that's inspiring it. So ended up confronting X about his girl, and I was like, yo, what's your girl's problem? Why does she keep bringing up my man's? Like, why do I keep hearing that she's talking about me? Has she been saying anything about me to you? And he's like, to be honest with you, no. All she's voiced to me that is how she's disappointed in that situation that you had confided in us about and stuff like that. And I'm like, frankly speaking, it's none of y'all's business, and I understand why you could hold a disappointment out of a means of protecting me, but at the same time, I'm like, it doesn't warrant you guys to keep talking about it. They decided to come together as a couple and express their dislike for that decision that I've made, even though it didn't involve them, but I felt like they were my people, and I confided in them first because they meant that much to me, that I felt like it was important to me that I have somebody to rely on. And then I don't know why, but I ended up like apologizing to them for making that decision, even though it didn't actually, you know, involve them or whatever. Like, I was listening to him, and then my anger was like next level. Like, I was like, it was boiling in me, and I was just like, all right, but why are you lying to me? You haven't been truthful with me. You have something that you want to share with me, don't you? I did not go into that conversation thinking that I would be discussing the status of his validity as a human being. And he was like, what are you talking about? And I was just like, you're not telling me the truth. I heard some information about you, and I just want to hear it from your mouth first. And he was quiet, and I was just like, why would you lie about something like that? Why? And he was just like, I don't really know. It was just a joke at first, and it got out of hand, and then he found some girl he was really into, i.e. my friend, and he just let the joke keep going. And then I just explained my side of the story, and then expressed to him, I'm like, you know, that's not right? You can't keep doing that, because it's not fair to her, because she's plotting a whole future with you, and it's not a future that you can feel like. He made me promise that like I wouldn't say anything, and that he would tell her soon. He didn't specify when soon was, but he did promise me that he was going to say something to her when he was ready. And I'm not thinking too much about it, because I'm just like, okay, I'll believe you. I'll trust that you know, because regardless of the fact that you lied to me, the things that we've experienced in our friendship have been like real, legitimate occasions. And I'm like, from my knowledge, that's the only thing that he's ever lied to me about. So I was just like, I'm gonna take one leap of faith and trust you. And then another part of me too is just like, I don't even know about my friendship with, you know, his girl, because she's been acting real sketchy too. And I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave it alone. So I ended up talking to her about her behavior and what I was hearing about girl Gem and stuff like that. And she shared with me, she's like, I don't even have a real relationship with Gem. Like, we just play Fortnite together. And it's not even that serious. Like, we don't actually have a valid friendship. You're my friend and stuff like that, and I've never been saying anything about you. I could tell you exactly what I've been saying, and you know what? I made the decision to trust her. It made me question the sanity of my man, because I'm just like, well, clearly my friend's not lying. It has to be your friend, and your friend's crazy, and my friend's perfect. You never really want to believe that it's your people that are toxic. And mind you, as a means to like build up our friendship and stuff, we decided, me and Jay decided to purchase concert tickets together. I wasn't hearing much stuff, and even from my man's, like, because of me confronting my friend ex, he was confronting Jem, and Jem was best friends with my man's, and then like it kind of caused a rift in their friendship, because she was just like, yo, like, you promised me that you wouldn't say anything to her, and look at you said something, so I can't trust you. And I kind of like, I felt bad, because I'm like, I almost spoiled his friendship, you know, even though I should have been more selfish in that situation and be like, well, she didn't care about ruining my friendship, but I felt bad about it. So I was just like, yo, anything that has to do with that girl, your friend, that girl, I don't want to hear nothing about it. I don't. Just don't tell me anything that has to do with her. If she has any rumors to share, as long as it's like not directly influencing or impacting us, I do not want to hear about her girl. I don't want to hear if she's living, breathing, dead, alive, whatever the case may be. After that ended up happening, I had ended up going down to her state because my aunt actually lives there in her state, and I found out like after I left that my other aunt never liked her, like never liked her. From when she met her, like the first time in person, she just felt like her whole vibe was off. For the, like, generally speaking, my aunt's opinion of people, like she's a really good judge of character. So, and she just never shared with me, but she shared with my other aunt that she just did not trust this girl. She came to see me, but it was like only for like 2.5 hours or something, and then she just dropped me home. Like there was no like glitz or glamour like about the scenario. It was just like, hey friend, haven't seen you in a while, let's just hang out, let's get some Mexican food and some drinks, and we'll call it a night. It was good to see you, okay, bye. The crazy part is I was like really excited to see her, but like the feeling wasn't like mutual on her part. I went there in like August, and then the concert was in October, so I didn't really like reach out to her that much, nor did she. Well, to be honest with you, I kind of forgot about that whole Catfish thing because I had my own life to live. Concert comes up, and then we're all preparing to meet up, and I'm super excited. I'm like, yes, I'm gonna be with my friend, everything's cool, blah blah. And then, you know what ends up happening? We enjoy each other. Now my whole outlook of how I treated her when she came up here is completely different, and not everybody knows how to be a decent host, but I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but I did my best to, you know, because she came up like on Saturday or something. I met with her, I took her all throughout New York. I showed her around. I researched spots that we can go to. I even canceled plans because at that time my mans was supposed to come up here. It was like supposed to be like a double date sort of thing. Like my friends were supposed to meet him for the first time. She was coming, and his vibe with her wasn't so good, so he was just like, you know what, I'll just come another weekend. When she comes up, I show her around New York, have a grand old time. We're hooting and hollering, and I'm thinking everything seems like the very first time like I met her and stuff. It was really cool. Like I was like, this is why we had like a whole friendship. This is the exact reason why she and I vibed so well in the first place, because we bonded so well like this. You guys know how that story goes. It's basically after the concert's done, she doesn't reach out anymore. So my mans is telling me that she took advantage of me. My confidant is also telling me that my friend took advantage of me. She's just using me for the sake of the concert. And that like really hurt me. It really hurt me. I couldn't handle it. I really and truly could not handle it. And it bothered me so much to have to not be able to extend myself to that friendship anymore. And then I tried to be the big bad wolf kind of thing. Like when my man was telling me all this stuff, I was just like, yeah, you're right, and I get it, and yeah, she's trash. And well, I didn't say that she was trash or nothing, but I was just like, yeah, I totally understand. I see that she's been using me and stuff like that, and that really sucks, and I can't believe I fell for that. Then on top of that, like I've been hearing like all these weird rumors and crap were coming out about her gentleman callers or whatever. Like she's out here on like Xbox or whatever, chatting up all these dudes and stuff. Not sending out nudes, but sending out sexy photos to them, and she's still, even though X has been lying to her, they're still in a whole relationship. So it blew my mind, because I was just like, that's not the person that I knew her to be. So what you mean she out here entertaining men for the sake of conversation being messy? I won't lie about this. Like at one time we were highly judgmental of girls who did that, you know. She became the same person that she was roasting before, and it was the same girl, Jem, that she was confiding with is the same person who was talking about her gentleman callers in the first place. I am minding my whole business. X reaches out to me, and he was just like, he calls me at like 2 something on his birthday. He calls me at like 2 something in the morning, and he was just like, Mira, I told her. And I was like, well, my God, like okay, what happened? And he was like, she hasn't responded yet, but like I'm scared and it's like worrying me and blah blah blah. And I something in my gut told me there was nothing genuine about this whole situation. Like, we're out the blue on his birthday, he's just gonna tell her. And he was like, well, I was talking to Jem, and Jem was like, you know, it's time, you should tell her the truth and blah blah blah. So here is that name again. Jem came through, and through Jem's insistence, he tells her. After all that happens, all that drama of the morning, I ain't hear nothing else again. I check on X says he's straight. 2 weeks later, he conveniently gets in a whole relationship with some girl in real life, and I was just like, see, I knew it was something, because you wouldn't just come out the blue and start talking about how you need to tell her the truth and then suddenly have a whole girlfriend in real life. So I knew it wasn't something like genuine. But then, oddly enough, Jay never said anything to me. I reached out in our group chat, and I was just like, mind you, this is 2 weeks after the fact, and I was like, yeah, I feel neglected, because like, we supposed to be a triad. How come I'm not hearing from y'all? And then, so then they start like conversing, and they're like, nothing is wrong. And then they're flaunting the fact that Jay is of the single nature. Like, oh, so you guys are keeping in touch with each other, because y'all was making it seem like you wasn't keeping in touch with each other. Thought that was pretty interesting. So I was just left out the group. They were like, well, how did you find it? I'm like, this is, I guess some people would say like, this is where you messed up, because you should have just kept your mouth shut. But me, I'm not like a slimy type of person. If like, even though some people might look at my decision earlier not to say anything, like, my intention wasn't to be bad. So I was just like, yo, I'm keeping it a band with you guys. Like, who do you think is the one that helped stimulate the fact that he told you in the first place? Like, I knew. And then, unfortunate thing, this is where people were like, okay, well, you could have still said that. They don't need to know when. Well, I clarified how long ago it was that I did know. And then it just went all downhill from there. Jay had a lot of negative stuff to say about me. Basically was trying to play peacemaker between the two of us, and Jay was like, well, I need time. And I was just, then I come and find out that she's still conversing with Jem, who was the one who instigated the whole thing in the first place, and she talks with Jay all the time, and she still didn't say anything. And then she was like, well, I don't claim her as my best friend. You claim to be my best friend, so you're the problem. And then A comes out of nowhere, and she was just like, you can't tell people who they can and can't be friends with. And I was just like, first of all, I wasn't even having the conversation with you. Second of all, that's the type of friendship we did have. If somebody felt uncomfortable with somebody, we would stop the friendship, because I've stopped a whole bunch of friendships on the account of them because they felt uncomfortable with certain individuals. So then, lo and behold, A's true feelings start coming out, and she's just being out of line, out of order, and then like trying to bring up my man's, and I was like, he's fine, thank you for asking. Like, I was just not entertaining any conversation with her, because I'm just like, y'all think that you running this, I'm just being nice. Don't take my kindness for weakness. For whatever reason, I was trying to save the status of our friendship. We basically have no means of communication either, so she just deaded our whole friendship. And from what I do here, I'm not keeping tabs on her or nothing. She still maintains that friendship with the Gem. Why am I addressing my emotions with clown makeup? What could I have done better in this situation? One, be very mindful of who you trust. Not everybody claiming to vibe with you and fight for you is really doing those things. Two, sometimes good intentions are not always received well. Only thing that I regret in this whole situation is not telling her when my gut told me to tell her something was wrong. That's my only thing, because I felt like I had fault in not doing that, because again, if I was in that scenario, my only hope is that someone would tell me. Is once I had that information, I should have given him a due by date to tell her. And if he did not meet that, that's when I should have told her. You could be as truthful as you want to be, and the thing is with online relationships, like everything that you guys have is all based off of communication. I actually don't communicate with people online that much anymore because I'm just like, you can't trust nobody out here. And it's really affected me in how I deal with like people currently. And it kind of sucks because it's just like, I can't trust anybody out here. Y'all all dangerous. So I'm gonna quickly finish up this look and I'm gonna come back to you guys when it's complete. And then yeah, we'll just do final thoughts. So see you soon. Okay, my loves, and this is the final look. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know in the comment section down below. So like, yeah, we can get to know each other and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Get you guys to get to know me. Yeah, about this makeup look. Again, this is not related to Halloween at all. I don't really endorse Halloween, but if you're a Halloween fanatic, go ahead with your bad self. You know what I'm saying? But that's just not me. But again, the whole purpose of this segment is to be able to tell you about my trials and tribulations with my past occurrences, and then be able to create a look that embodies how I feel inside, you know? So I felt like a total clown. I didn't handle the situation revolving that story to the way that made me feel satisfied, and I feel like it was important for me to gather my closure from that moment to see what I could have done better, or what I wouldn't have changed at all, you know? It's important for all of us to like regroup and sometimes revisit certain scenarios in our lives. A little bit about this palette. Again, this is the Jeffree Star lippy color, whatever. I use 6 out of the 8 colors inside the palette. And what do I have to say about it? Honestly, it works really well as an eyeshadow. You just have to like use it when it kind of dries, gets sort of like tacky or something, because when it dries and it blends really well, but it's kind of hard to like spread it across your eye while it's wet. So just be aware of that because you're gonna constantly have to layer. As you can see, the colors are super pigmented, to which I'm grateful. So that's where we are with that. If you guys really did enjoy this, please let me know in the comment section down below. Like, comment, share it with your friends, you know, and subscribe. And if you have any sort of like business inquiries, or you just want to reach out to me and let me know about your own situation in private, you know what? My email is Miracleandhermind@gmail.com. All my social media handles are as follows. My Instagram is precarious_mind, and my Snapchat is xmira.mirax. Okay? That's it. I really like this look. I hope you guys did too. And until next time, I love you so much. Okay, bye.